when you walk by, I hit you with sexy eyes. You look through me as if I wasn't right. Oh no, you didn't just walk on through. It's time.
Greetings all, welcome to the Dragon's Lair Workshop. It's February 5th. I think for about the first time this season, I'm actually working on two props. I went down yesterday and bought parts to do two different props. Only reason being is I don't have all the parts to complete either one of them yet. So I figured I could bounce back and forth between the two until I get enough parts for one to do the other. The props I've got going right now, and I went down and bought some 8-foot long 2x4s. And I've got them, cut down to 4-foot long, and I doubled them up. So it's basically like a 4x4 post. And I could have went with 4x4 posts, but the problem with that is cost. A 4x4 post was more expensive than buying an 8-foot long 2x4 and cutting it down and put it together. Basically, all I did is after I got them cut down to 4 foot, is I put glue in between the halves and then put 3 screws in, one on the end, one on each end, and one in the middle to hold them together. Now yeah, I know, real scary prop. It's a 4x4 post, people. Ah, scream. Basically, what I'm going to be doing with these are going to be some columns, and that's the meat of my column. Actually, it's going to be the center of it. Then this weekend, that foam board I've got over there, all the little scraps and stuff, a friend of mine is going to let me use this table saw. We're going to cut it down, and we're going to actually wrap the 4x4 with some blue foam board. And then I'm going to carve a pattern into it. I still need to get a sheet of 2-inch foam board, and we're going to cut some caps out to go on top. And I'm going to have some scraps left over from my other project, which I'll be cutting down, and we'll be doing a foot cap down at the bottom as well. Anyway, this is the start of one project, the post. I don't have the 2-inch foam board yet, and I'm not going to have access to the table saw for cutting this stuff down until this weekend. Right now it's a Tuesday, so I gotta wait till Saturday before I have access. So with that project, I'm as far as I can go with it until Saturday. The second project I had was from Drop Dead. Last spring I bought a bunch of these old ceiling mount speakers off of Barry, Drop Dead. And I was going to use them in my haunt this last year and never got to it. So what I was thinking about doing is I was going to make some boxes to mount these in. And I originally thought of trying to do different techniques, like making a fake rock to put them in or what have you. And I decided I'm just going to make a regular square or rectangular box, mount the speaker, or paint them black, mount the speakers in, and just call it quits. Because these things aren't going to be out in the open anyway. You know, they'll be hanging up in the rafters or in behind a prop or what have you. The problem that I have, though, was when I went down to buy supplies, I was thinking I had enough speakers to do 12 speaker boxes. So I bought materials accordingly. And my mistake was I should have taken count on how many speakers I had before I bought my materials, because I got home, started counting, I only had 7 speakers. I can't remember whether I bought 7 or 12. And I guessed the 12 and I guessed wrong. So I'm going to have some extra material left over from the speaker boxes I'll probably end up using on the columns somehow. But I think I am actually going to make up 12 speaker boxes and just get 7 of them these 7 speakers mounted into 7 of them, and to set the others off to the side for down the road in case I come up get my hands on some other speakers. I did get a hold of Drop Dead and asked if he had any more for sale, and he was going to check to see if he had any more. If he does, I'll take him. But anyway, those are the two projects I'm going to be kind of bouncing back and forth in. The speaker boxes for the speakers is not going to take too long. It's going to be a couple-day project. You know, I'll have all the boxes and stuff made and painted and what have you. And I figure this will give me something to work on during the week while I'm waiting for access for the to the table saw so I can cut the foam board. And then once I get the foam board cut, I can get into doing some carving. What I am going to do, I'm switching back over to the pillars now, is like I was saying, I'm going to coat all four sides of my homemade 4x4 in the blue foam. And then from the top down to probably about 6 inches to a foot from the base, it's going to get carved in a brick pattern. And then on the base, I'm going to add some of the leftover press board, and I'm going to make a kind of a giant size footing with some trim on it. And then on the top, I'm going to use some 2-inch foam to make a cap that will overhang the foam board on there. Probably paint it kind of like gray slate and maybe do some sort of ornament or decoration on the top of it. Not sure yet on that. So, you know, that's kind of what I've got planned for both projects and kind of what I'm working on now. So, I wanted to touch on another thing too, was the vlogging. I did 2 vlogs within a couple of days of each other here. I just posted the light box vlog yesterday, I believe it was, and the day before that I posted the vlog for the picture frames. It's not my intent to do a daily vlog or a bi-weekly vlog. My whole thing is I'm thinking of doing 1 vlog a week. Problem is I'm getting in, I've got a couple of projects like that light box, like these speakers and stuff that are quickie projects. It's not going to take me several weeks to do. And I don't want to flood you guys with vlogs too much. You know, I know a lot of you have said that you like the longer vlogs, you know, because it gives you more detail and everything. And I appreciate that. Like right now, I'm rambling, running off at the mouth. I talk too much. I know that. It's a problem. You know, and I try to edit out a lot of the miscellaneous BS. You know, I edited out about 30 minutes worth of footage out of the light box one because I was just rambling like crazy. So, you know, with the length of my vlogs and everything, I don't want to do too many vlogs back to back. I just think that's a little overwhelming for you guys with, you know, with the length of the vlogs. So I am going to try to stick to doing at least 1 a week, you know, as long as the projects allow it. There may be times like this week, you know, and there may be 2 or 3 days between projects. And if that, a long vlog, 2 to 3 days apart, bothers you, I'm sorry. I either do it that way, or you get one really super long vlog where I do 2 projects at once, and the vlogs end up being an hour long. And I don't think anyone wants to sit through me running my mouth for an hour. And I'll probably get some comments on that. Don't worry, I'm expecting it. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Like I said, I'm bouncing in between 2 projects right now. Let's see, I shot the last clip on the 5th. Today's the 8th. So it's been a couple of days. Not sure exactly how much I showed, but I did mention I'm going to be working on 2 projects because I'm waiting for parts. I got my 2x4s cut, glued, and assembled. Hey, get my toe. See, a workshop accident in progress, people. Ah. But anyway, I got as far as I can go on that. Saturday, I'll be going down and getting the foam cut. So I've been working on the speakers, making the speaker boxes. So far I've got all the pieces cut. I got the carcasses all together. Still need the front panel, which holds the speaker, and the back panel, which holds the stereo jacks. I gotta get those drilled and attached. And I say drilled because I gotta cut out the hole for the speaker, and that's today's project, is I'm gonna be getting the holes and stuff cut out so I can do final assembly. They still need to be sanded. Also, I went down to Radio Shack and ordered some stereo speaker jacks. These are going to be mounted on the back of the speakers, and the wires just plug right in. Should have done like Hall Staff does and ordered it from China, but I didn't feel like waiting 6 weeks for it. Being lazy. So I've got all my parts I need now for my speakers. And we did go down. I went down and hit Goodwill, Salvation Army, Value Village, and St. Vincent de Paul's, seeing if they had any speakers in. Excuse me. I was able to pick up 4 more speakers, so I've got enough speakers to do 11 right now. On the way home, one of the people mentioned the Habitat for Humanity Restore. And I was thinking we had one in town, but I didn't know where it was, and the person we talked to gave me the address. So we stopped by Habitat for Humanity and checked out the Restore. And I'll tell you, I was like a kid in a candy store in that place. You know, I was seeing stuff in there. Hadn't even thought of doing projects. And I was seeing stuff in there. Oh God, this would be so good if I could use it for this. I could use it for that. You know, and I was just drooling the whole time. The wife was leading me around the place by hand after about the first 5 minutes, because I kept stopping and digging through things. Man, if you have a Habitat for Humanity store in your area, Restore, and you're looking for miscellaneous parts and stuff for various projects, stop by there. They have a lot of neat things, everything from paneling to doors to windows to pipes to you name it, they got it. So I think that's one store I am going to start checking on a regular basis. But we've got, let's see, it's Thursday the 8th right now. So I'm going to keep working on the speakers and getting those finished, because they're not too far from being done. And then Saturday I'll be going over to a friend's house using his table saw to cut the foam, and probably get started on assembling the pillars next week, hopefully Monday. Probably the day you see this, because I'm going to wait and upload this on Monday. One other thing I wanted to mention. For the pillar project, I picked up, and this is a product placement here, folks, Glidden Gripper. Okay. If anyone watches Scary Lady videos on YouTube, she did a comparison test on different glues for gluing foam board together. You know, for like, she did her Hellhound. All the pieces of foam, the 2-inch foam that she used, that was all glued together using this Glidden Gripper. I went down to Home Depot to get some, because I am going to be doing some foam to foam gluing with these pillars, and bought some. And I was looking around over in the adhesive area, you know, thinking it was some sort of glue. Couldn't find it, so I asked one of the clerks. She took me over into the paint aisle, and this Glidden Gripper is actually a primer and sealer. You know, it's not a glue. It's a paint, type of paint, you know, if you want to call primer a paint. You know, I rewatched the video, you know, after I got home, and yep, this is the same exact product. Another question I had too on it, you know, Tara did foam to foam. My pillars I'm putting together, I'm actually going to be attaching foam panels to the wood. And I was wondering if that Glidden Gripper would work to adhere foam to wood and stuff, because I'd rather use that. You know, a can of that will go a hell of a lot further than using Gorilla Glue, which is extremely expensive, liquid nails, and I've used that on several projects and have not had very good luck with it and stuff. Everyone I talked to, they didn't know. You know, they've used it for foam to foam, but they've never used it foam to wood. So I'm running a test here. I got a piece of scrap press board and a piece of foam, and I've taped it on. You know, I put a Glen gripper on the foam, I put it on the wood, and then sandwiched it together, and then using the toolbox as a weight for the moment. But so I'm doing a test run on that. And once that dries and stuff, I'll do another segment on it to let you know how it works. So, but I'm really curious. I hope it does work, because I do not want to use screws to attach the foam to the pillars. I mean, when I'm doing my foam board panels, I use screws with a washer on. That way I can remove the panels. These panels won't be removed. They're staying on the dang 2x4s. So it will be interesting to see how it works. Okay, going on about 10 o'clock, was getting ready to call it quits, and I know I probably look like a mess. I've been doing a ton of sanding on the speaker boxes. But I got to thinking, I had not showed you what my sample piece came out for. I tried gluing a piece of foam board to some, I want to say plasterboard, and that's not it. I can't think of the name of it, I'm too damn tired. But anyway, it's got a smooth surface. And I figured I'd check, and the foam is definitely stuck. I can't get it off. So Glen's gripper will glue particle board. That's it, particle board. Sorry, brain freeze. But Glen gripper will glue foam board to particle board. You know, it's a smooth surface to smooth surface. So that part I know. So if you're using particle board as a base and you want to attach, get this back so you're not looking a close-up at my ear or the ceiling. Sorry, I'm tired. But anyway, if you wanted to glue foam board to particle board, or use particle board as a base and glue foam board on top of it, if you worded it differently, it works, and it works good too. I've got very strong fingers and hands, and I'm just pushing holes into the foam. It's not coming loose off the particle board. But 2x4s, I'm not sure. Most of 2x4 is a little bit more rougher in texture than the particle board, but I'm assuming that it should work. I mean, it glued really good. So I guess the next thing is to actually try gluing up some foam board onto those 2x4s, which I'll probably do Sunday or Monday. I want to get these speakers done first, and as you can see, I've been doing some more assembly, getting the back panel on them and puttying up seams and sanding and squat. So, but anyway, there's a test for you. Glen gripper will glue foam board to wood by the look of it. The smoother the surface, the better, I would assume, though. So just keep that in mind. So anyway, good night all. I'm going to bed. I'm beat. Okay, people. Last vlog on the speakers. We got them done. Painted them solid black so they'll blend in. I had gotten 7 speakers from Barry, and Barry, thank you very much for those speakers that you sent last spring. They came out looking great. Out of the 7, I had one that has a kind of a funky sound to it, but I think I could use it in the for a sound effect speaker inside the Hahn, so it's not going to mount to anything. It's usable. Then we also hit the Restore earlier in the week, a couple of them. I think I said that earlier in the vlog. And I picked up 4 speakers, which gave me 11 total. There's 3 here, and then there's 1 over there. But I just got done painting the last of the paint on them, and gotta wait for them to dry now before I can put them away. But what I ended up doing, the one thing I did not want on the speakers was wires trailing out. So I got some speaker terminals back here. You can get a good shot of them. You know, just a push button ones where you push them down and Slip the wires in. Really nice. You can place them out in your haunt and run the wires to them, plug them in, and they're good to go. And then with storage, you just unplug the wires and you got a box to store instead of a box with a long, huge wire on it, which will make it nice. Less of a tripping hazard, less of a tangle hazard. So, got that done. And today is Sunday, by the way. I'll be uploading this vlog tomorrow, which it will be Monday. Yesterday, I did make it over to my friend's house. And as you can see, I got strips of foam and pieces of foam all over the place. All of that is going to end up getting put on here to make my pillars, which will be the next vlog. And it'll probably end up being several vlogs. So, but anyway, that's where I'm at. I got the speaker project done, so that's what? Got the walls, the frames, the light box. That's project number 4 done. Project number 5 getting ready to get going here.